This is Tom Biernacki, and today I'm going to talk to you about heel spurs. So right here, this is your heel, and this spike right here is where a spur forms. So you can have a spur on the bottom of your heel and the back of your heel going up. So there's two types of common heel spurs. I'm going to tell you the single biggest lie about heel spurs, and I'm going to show you. Not a lot of podiatrists have the guts to get up on TV and to tell you this, but I will tell you how to take care of these at home safely, saving you money and getting you feeling better, whether it's the back of your heel spur or the bottom of the heel spur. We've got you covered. Oh. Disclaimer, we can't actually give advice online, so don't listen to anything we ever say. So the secret to heel spurs, I'm going to go into the secret. So I'm going to give you some hints. It's not diet. It's not cutting out salt. When I was looking through YouTube, I could not believe some of the crazy, absolute garbage tips that were out there. There's actually a video claiming that salt is what causes spurs and bunions, and that if you stop eating salt, your bunions and heel spurs will go away. How does a heel spur form? Well, you have a ligament on the bottom of your foot. So, oh, that's breaking on me. But on the bottom of your foot, right here, you have a ligament called your plantar fascia. And on the back, you have your Achilles tendon. I'm gonna grab my foot model, but you can see right here, I left a piece on right here that clips on and off. This is actually the muscle, but overlying here is the plantar fascia. As the plantar fascia pulls out, oh, see, just like it ripped out there, you can see this part right here, as the muscle pulls out, you can see in the light right there, as the muscle pulls out of the heel, it rips a little bit of the bone with it. So every day you get a little microscopic tearing. So it's almost like pulling a rope. So I'm pulling a rope and it's ripping out of the bone. Every day, the bone tries to heal and strengthen into where the ligament is tearing out. What happens is, it's almost like that bone gets stretched out by the ligament. So when we go in there and surgically look at a heel spur, it's not like a hard knife-like bone spike. It's actually like a cloud of dust with a lot of thickened, scarred tendon. So this brings me to the next big secret of heel spur formation is, when can they actually get better? Do they need surgery? So this is a study I present at the Michigan Podiatric Medical Association meetings, but there's a lot of great studies done where with an ultrasound or an MRI, you can measure how thick vertically. So when you actually measure the plantar fascia down here, if your podiatrist or your doctor looks at it and the thickness of your plantar fascia is under 4 millimeters. So if it's more than 4 millimeters, it's bad news. If it's less than 4 millimeters, most people within like 3 to 6 months get better doing all the great stuff I'm going to talk about. But if your ligament is thick, scarred, and you've been having fasciitis pain for 20 years, if you've been working on hard concrete floors and you weigh 300 pounds, you may need something more. You may need injections. You may need to lose weight. You may need surgery to trim down that spur, but surgery is very rare. We rarely, if ever, have to do these things. So that's the big secret, but don't stop watching yet, because I'm gonna actually tell you how to cure this thing. So you're not gonna find out at home how thick your plantar fascia is. That's what your podiatrist does. So in the office, I take an ultrasound, and with an ultrasound, I can take the ultrasound probe and scan the bottom of the heel. And if it's under 4 millimeters, it's probably gonna get better. If it's over 10 millimeters, then it's gonna take a little bit of work. It could take 3 to 6 months of doing all the right stuff. That means wearing good shoes, that means wearing good inserts, that means stretching, that means losing weight, all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna get into that soon. So there are two types of heel spurs. So when you look at the back of your foot, so there are two types of heel spurs. So you can see right here is your Achilles tendon. So when you look at this right here, you could see as your Achilles tendon pulls upward, So as the Achilles tendon pulls up out of the heel, you can get a spur of bone that gets ripped out with the Achilles tendon. The second spur is the plantar fascia heel spur. So when the plantar fascia is ripping out that way, so the spur fits in the bottom. I just broke everything on my desk. So I'm gonna put two links up here. So in the corner right here, I'm gonna put the plantar fascia heel spur link. This is when you have bottom of the heel pain. This is probably the most common. It's a 20-minute guide. I'm warning you, it's a lot of Tom. It's a lot of Dr. Biernacki just ranting and raving for 20 minutes. So you got to have a strong stomach to watch that video, but there's the link. If you do have Achilles tendon pain and you think you have a spur, so you got a big heel bump, the next video is our Achilles tendonitis complete treatment guide. So this guide, 90% of the time, I feel people will have great success taking care of their Achilles tendon heel spur. Right there. So if you stuck around and you've still not clicked on the links, I'm going to actually tell you, this is the home treatment part. If you think about every step you take in your life, it's like a bruise and you're punching that bruise. So every time you take a step, it's a punch. If you're 400 pounds, if you're walking on concrete, if you have poor flexibility and you got shot knees and back and hips, your punch is gonna be off the charts. If you're a 90-pound little kid with strong muscles, with lots of elasticity, you're gonna be just barely punching and nothing will ever hurt. Does that make sense? As you're walking, every problem from a biomechanical standpoint is like a punch. The worse shape you're in, the harder the punch. So the goal is we want to get rid of the bruise and we want to stop the punch. So here's how you do this. I'm not going to focus so much on the bruise. That's your pills, that's your anti-inflammatories, your Tylenols, your icing, your massages, your acupuncture, everything. Yes, there are 8,000 things. I'm leaning into the mic. People argue about whether you should ice, whether you should not ice, what the studies show. It doesn't matter. If you keep punching the bruise, no matter what you put on there, the bruise will come back. So that's not the point. The point is, let's stop the bruise. And I'm going to talk about stuff that's studied and stuff that's practical. So what I love to do is 4 things. If you do these 4 things, you're pretty much guaranteed to get better. And stick around to number 4 because it's pretty much guaranteed to get you better. So 4 is this one. So number 1 is good inserts and good shoes. Good inserts and good shoes. So online, on Amazon, there's some great brands. They're in the show notes, but brands like Power Step are made by a podiatrist. They are phenomenal. They're in the $20, $30, $40 range depending on what you get. But click in the show notes. My preferred pairs are there, but Power Steps are outstanding. The next thing, so if you look, here's what a good insert looks like. So it's got to fit in the shoe. Next, in the show notes as well, I have my recommended shoes. But here's my quick top 5 running shoes are number 1, Brooks. Number 2, New Balance. Number 3, Asics. Mizuno, Saucony. As a bonus, you got your Hokas, your Kuru, a lot of great pairs, If I'm missing a good pair, write me a message down there and complain. So next is great sandals. So great sandals are Bionic, also down in the list. Number 2, Spenco, Soul, UFOs, Orthofeet. So those 5 brands make both slippers and sandals. So if you're wearing good inserts, good shoes, good slippers, good sandals at all time, those are A, B, and C shoes. Walking barefoot and regular flip-flops is an F. You want to be an honor roll student. So great shoes, great inserts are good. The second most important thing out of the biomechanics algorithm is as you get older, as you go from 20 to 65, there's a study, I'm going to try and link it, but on average, the average human being, if you're not doing weightlifting or resistance training, which everybody should if you're able to, it's unbelievably effective for you. But if you're not, from 20 to 65, the average person loses approximately 40% of your muscle mass, and you're usually not 40% lighter. So that's number 3, is you're getting weaker and you're getting fatter. I hate to put it like that, but weakness, weight that you have to carry. You're doing exponential amounts of work. Whereas usually as a strong kid, you could stand all day. As a wimpy, weak adult like me, you're getting pretty sore in like maybe an eighth of the time. So you're getting sore pretty quickly. And then lastly, that brings us to our next point. So you got to do some weightlifting and you got to lose some weight. That speaks for itself. Lots of great links for not necessarily, that doesn't mean jacking up like 300 pounds. That means doing air squats, wall push-ups, lots of good stuff like that. Get your strength up, feel good, show off to your wife or husband. You know, you got to look good. You don't want to look terrible. You don't want to be a wimpy, heel-hurting person that people make fun of. Don't be that person. Be a jacked fitness model with six-pack abs, and then you can write me a nice message and hit the video a like and say we changed your life. Hopefully it works out that way. I'm hoping for me as well. And then lastly, listen, if you're 60 years old and you're looking around your factory floor and you realize you're the oldest guy and you're the heaviest guy, you're in trouble. Or as a woman or a man. Listen, if you're not in great shape, you can't go into your 60s, 70s, standing on your feet on concrete doing factory work all day. You're gonna be in terrible shape. Your body's gonna fall apart. Your knees, your hips. The bottom line is, if good shoes, good inserts, good muscles, good flexibility, all that stuff, I'm running out of fingers to count all this stuff. If that stuff's not working for you, you've got to switch to a desk job. That's the bottom line. It almost seems like bad advice, but it's the truth. You know, I have people, you know, I know everybody's got to work, but people are destroying their bodies for employers that do not care about you. You got to care about yourself more than your employer cares about yourself. This is 2020. You know, I'm sure you have a good boss and your boss loves you and you should love your boss, but you should love yourself and you should love your body and you should take great care of yourself. Don't let yourself fall apart. You know, this is the most important part, you know? So click on the videos, plantar heel spurs, dorsal heel spurs, these will get better. 99% of the time you don't need surgery. Click on the links for heel pain and we'll take great care of you. Give that a like if we help. Thank you.